Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Morton and I am the Global Marketing Director here at Incubeta. I'm very excited to be joined by Michael Ossendrijver today. Michael Ossendrijver, I must say you are one of my favorite people to talk to in the business, but one of the hardest to actually nail down. Could you tell me a bit about what a Chief Growth Officer actually does?
It's a good question. Sometimes I figured it out myself as well. But largely it has to do, look, we're in a business that transforms really rapidly, right? And it's really about making sure that as a business, we're growing we are growing, B, we're growing into the right direction, and C, we're growing in a profitable, sustainable way that's great for our people, great for our clients, and it ultimately delivers the value that we want to create.
Now, one of the big topics that everybody seems to be talking about, even we're talking about it, it's AI.
Sure.
We had ChatGPT come out, Google's retaliated with Bard. Is this something that we should be getting really excited about?
I think so. I mean, I've been excited about it for a while. I mean, to an extent, I think it will drive somewhat of an industrial revolution within the digital world, where a lot of the tedious manual labor that people used to do starts getting automated. It's a fantastic new weapon people can wield, right? That's really how I see it. It's about becoming more efficient, it's about becoming more productive, and it's about really driving value versus typing text just because you're typing text. That's not needed anymore, right? So I think that change is very interesting. I think for some people it's scary, but change is always scary. When we all transported ourselves on horse-drawn carriages and cars were the big issue as well. I don't see a lot of horse-drawn carriages out here in London anymore, right? So it's about embracing it, and it's been with us for a while, right? I mean, don't forget the AI that sits behind Google finishing your sentences when you write an email. I think that's amazing, and it's been around for years already. It's basically the same thing. I think it's great.
It's funny you use the words weapon and scary. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the recent trailer for Megan, but is AI something we should fear? It is a big horror genre at the moment.
Yeah, I think the Hollywood AI is something we should all fear, right? But yeah, we need to fear. Chucky was also scary, and it was a doll. So I don't know. I think there are challenges to AI being used the wrong way, just like people can be used the wrong way, right? Looking at these Boston Dynamics dogs that walk around, that scares me, because I think about what happens if you put a gun on something like that, right? Who's responsible? Who pulls the trigger? Those challenges have always existed, right? And it's not that ChatGPT suddenly replaces that. We've had a Terminator in the 80s, super scary. I mean, that you could argue that was AI. It's just now coming closer because it's coming to our screens, and we're seeing it and we're engaging with that. But it's not something to be scared about at all, I think. I think there's large repercussions and challenges in terms of copyrights, in terms of who owns AI output, in terms of how is it used, in terms of education, right? Think about education. Think about writing essays. Think about writing papers, which has been a cornerstone of our educational system. A machine can do that for you now. So there's big challenges, but change brings challenge, right? You need to embrace it.
I think from my side, this is kind of the first time that I would say AI felt really obtainable. Like super, I can just go and I can do it, and it's free in some cases, which it never has been before. With AI, let's talk a bit about automation now. In a time when we need to be super efficient, do the two go hand in hand?
Automation for me does not necessitate AI, and AI does not necessitate automation, right? Can the two reinforce each other tremendously? Absolutely. And is for our business and for our clients' businesses, can you be a lot more successful fusing them both? Absolutely. It's a shame for AI to exist without a layer of automation surrounding it, right? Because that is really what the power is. And I think the future of many people in our industry is combining automation and combining AI to drive value. That's I think what the future is.
One of the biggest questions I think we've seen come out from ChatGPT is my job at risk? It's been a question throughout all of the years as technology's grown. Yes, I would say it does impact jobs. Yes, we need to be thinking about what is the direction people should be thinking? How should we be shifting?
Jobs will become a lot more productive, right? So somebody who is a text writer now, reliant on writing 5 articles a day, can suddenly have AI write 50 articles a day for them, which they then need to proofread and optimize and tailor and tune. I think that's great. I think a lot of the raw ingredients can be provided for people to do more with versus constantly having to recreate the raw ingredients from scratch. I think that's great. It means that people can become more productive. For our industry, it means our clients can ask more from us in terms of output that we deliver. If you look at DALL-E, right? If you look at how quickly you can generate images on the fly, how quickly you can prototype things, that stuff is amazing. And are the jobs at risk? Are the art directors' jobs at risk because those things exist? I don't think so. But is it a fantastic way to visualize thoughts very rapidly? And is it something clients used to pay for before? Yes. But again, we need to embrace the change. We need to become more productive, to become more efficient.
If we're talking about hot topics at the moment, I don't think we can skip privacy. It's one of those things that is still being talked about and is still really prevalent and relevant. Is there still a need to really hammer this home, though?
Well, the funny combination is AI and privacy, right? When you think about what we're all feeding into ChatGPT and where ChatGPT is extracting that information from in order to form its responses, privacy becomes even more muddled in situations like that, right? So yes, it's relevant and it should stay relevant, and it's a responsibility we all carry, I think. I mean, as a digital industry, we carry that. The big tech providers carry it. Our advertising clients carry it. Our publishing clients carry it. And consumers carry it, right? And I think it's good consumers are becoming a lot more conscious about what happens with their data in a digital ecosystem. It's really healthy and it's really good. At the same time, it's all not that scary, right? Consumers need to be protected. We need to make sure that we run a digital industry that's clean and safe and responsible with the data that we collect. And I think we're well on our way, quite honestly. So it needs to remain a topic. And it should not go away. It's a cornerstone of what we do, I think.
For those who haven't started to think about what they're going to do about the deprivation of third-party cookies, what should they be doing now?
They're fucked. No, I mean, I cannot think of any clients that we have, and we have quite a few, that have not picked up the conversation, right? I mean, lots of businesses are acting. The ones that don't, you could almost argue, can change faster if they're late to the party because so much trailblazing and work has been done already. It's easier to get on the right path on harnessing first-party data and doing the right stuff than 3 years ago because so much has been done, so much has been tested, so much has been built. So it's never too late. But yeah, to have marketing strategies and conversion-driven businesses connected to third-party cookies for success, yeah, I'm glad we're not one of them.
Some people are saying we're living in a bit of a chaotic world at the moment. We've had COVID, we've had this type of digital revolution adapting to that. Now we have countries struggling with potential recessions, even if it's not going to be as bad as they originally predicted.
Yeah.
How should advertisers be looking to navigate this quote-unquote chaotic period?
How should we do it as people? I think it's a really good question. I mean, it's challenging for everyone, right? And the best way to deal with states of flux, as you just said, or chaos, is by thinking on your feet, by being agile. And I think specifically in digital, nothing holds back our clients or ourselves being agile than ourselves, right? The tools are there, the thinking is there, the platforms are there. So I think the element of acting quickly, not being behind the ball, but also not being too scared. I think that combination is absolutely key. And look, you cannot solve for everything, right? The supply chain issues that have hit some of our marketplace advertisers, it's horrible. And there's nothing they can do about it, right? So some of the stuff is completely out of our hands. And I think this decade definitely has been the most interesting one of my life so far. I think every generation thinks that they are the craziest generation that exists. But yeah, it's been a fun cocktail of lots of different things. But we'll make it through. We'll be fine.
There's a Game of Thrones quote that is, "Chaos isn't a pit, chaos is a ladder."
Huh.
Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, look, I mean, you may. There's a saying about diamonds as well. I think you create diamonds under pressure. It's the same thing, right? I mean, you need a certain state of chaos and flux for innovation to truly happen and to truly matter. Because if everything's fine, why change anything, right? And change breeds innovation, and change drives the future forward. So yeah, I like chaos.
I feel like you would thrive in chaos.
Yeah, yeah. You could argue that that's the case. I'm still here after 38 years of chaos, so I guess so.
Is there anything happening in the industry that you think Incubeta should be doing or would love to see Incubeta doing?
Look, I think what's crucial, and our clients are asking much more about it as well, it's we need to drive our connected specialism, right? We're really good at what we do. We're great at creative, we're great at commerce, we're great at media, we're great at tech, we're great at data. The trick that we are getting better at and to continue getting better at is building that horizontal layer, stitching it together, because those domains are really interesting and they're really good, and some clients only work with us in a specific domain. What I want to make sure of is that we connect it much better. And that we create, and AI automation can help with it, right? But that we create that layer, that we build it out, that layer represents that integrated approach that we have.
Now I'm going to jump into our favorite section. So okay. I'm going to ask you 4 questions. So what is your favorite advertising campaign of all time?
It's really difficult, right? I mean, I saw the question right before we started. It's tricky. I think there's a lot, but let me tell you one that came to mind. I'm a pretty visual thinker. The campaign that I really liked that came to mind first is the MasterCard campaign, where they do these things of these overlaying Venn diagrams of the red and the yellow to make the MasterCard logo set in real life situations, right? I keep on looking for that stuff. And I remember when I was somewhere for the Christmas break, I saw 2 dog bowls standing there next to each other and I had the same colors. I was like, this is great. I see a brand in 2 dog bowls. I love that stuff. That's a good one. There's many good ones though.
That's the type of goal for every advertiser, isn't it?
Exactly.
To make people see them in every
It's in my head. It's well done. It's well done.
What is your favorite digital innovation of all time?
Yeah, that's also a tricky one, right? I was thinking about this. I mean, I think it's a moving target. I remember being a small boy sitting behind my dad's monochrome laptop and using the internet for the first time. That was pretty crazy. I remember building my first website on GeoCities and getting 5 megabytes of storage for free and picking my little virtual house where my website was supposed to live. Back then I thought that was rocket science. I was like, fuck, this is amazing. This exists.
If there's one way to age yourself, it's talk about going on the internet for the first time when you're a kid.
Yes. We are the internet generation, right? That's a fascinating part about this generation. I grew up without the internet existing, but I came right along with it. And that's really nice to feel. It's good, you know? Yeah. I had a childhood where there were no mobile phones. I sort of like that.
It's a unique position to be in, isn't it?
I think so.
It's a dying breed.
Yes, we'll be dead sooner rather than later.
On to a happier topic. What is your favorite moment when you thought, oh, that tech is cool?
The first time in a Tesla is crazy. I'm a petrolhead, but the first time you sit in a Tesla, it's a unique experience. These are moments you don't forget, right? The first time you put VR goggles on, you have an immersive experience. Even though I say more quality screen time versus putting goggles on, it is a crazy thing, right? So I think that keeps on moving. And what I really liked as an example, I just made it as well, is when Google started finishing my sentences in an email. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty good email. But now you can just ask ChatGPT if you're writing a passive-aggressive email, can you change the tone? And it outputs something wonderful. The biggest asshole can sound like the sweetest person using ChatGPT, which is scary as well, by the way. But those are all great things, right? And speaking to AI more, I think, like I said, the output that these generative image platforms can create it's insane. I cannot stop playing with it, and I'm scared, and I'm excited, and I'm concerned, and I'm happy at the same time. I don't know what to feel. I love it.
If you could leave the audience with one piece of advice, what would it be?
To embrace change, I think, and to understand that chaos is a great way to drive change, to embrace it, and to make it work. The times are uncertain. That's fine. Maybe I think times have always been uncertain, but we just like to cover ourselves in this blanket of security and try to pretend that it's not the case, right? So I think we need to embrace these things. I think as a digital industry, we need to become a bit more agile, stand on our toes a bit more, try a bit harder, be a bit smarter with the information that's out there, be a bit smarter with AI, be a bit smarter with all the stuff that's out there, not thinking that AI is going to take our jobs. also not thinking that AI is going to solve all of the problems that we have, because it absolutely will not. But also not thinking it's scary when we're touching it. Well, in a state of chaos, we keep doing what we've been doing because it's worked for the last 20 years. That's not necessarily a recipe for success in the future, I think. So I think embracing that evolution, whichever way it takes, is a healthy way of doing business. It's a healthy way of living. And it's a healthy way of dealing with things, I think.
Chaos is a ladder.
It is a ladder, apparently. Yes, I like it.
Thank you so much
Sure.
for joining me today. It was great to have you.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed that and you have some information and knowledge to take away. And we will have more of these interviews coming towards you.